Time is X minus 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
It's the Rocket Hour. Y'all are now tuned in. Time to hit the pick four that you'd love to win. If your money's coming slow, step on the faster track with your host, Ricky Pasternak. Let's go.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the Rocket Hour. I was told this morning to make this quick. We are episode 46, fast and rolling, but Aaron has something that he wants to share with us, and so I'm going to make it quick. Aaron, I'm going to throw it to you. Great polo, by the way. Fantastic. Would love to have one here in New Jersey, but we'll work on that. All right, here you go. Throwing it to you. What do you got for us?
I actually thought you had one of these, so I'm sorry about that. We'll try to get you one. Anyway, so if you didn't watch the show yesterday, Ricky, our boy Ricky, called Aiden Green a male, and Aiden Green is a female.
I did.
So the good news is you said a lot of really nice things about her. And anyway, and we had somebody that corrected you, and you apologized, corrected yourself. Well, Aiden Green watched the video. She commented on our Facebook, thanking the person for correcting you. And then she also she was really cool about it. She was like, hey, as long as they're saying nice things about me, I don't really care what they call me, as long as I'm winning and saying nice things. She shared it on her Facebook. The bad thing is, Ricky, her friends were not as nice about it as she was. You are getting trashed on her Facebook right now.
Oh. Wait, is there a way we could? I didn't know that. I wish we could have shown it.
Yes, there's a lot of this guy's an idiot. I can't believe he's done this. Bless his heart type stuff. Which bless his heart is like the worst thing you can say about somebody.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Okay. Well, I did. Following that, I did a lot more research because I know I made a mistake.
Uh-huh.
The point that I even want to further, I remember using her first milestone was in the fifth race that day with Elvin Gonzalez. Elvin Gonzalez also not shipped down, but he's come down and he's done a fantastic job among Cristo, I think the horse's name was. And I've loved that horse for a long time. Former trainer, obviously kind of took over. Aiden Green has done a fantastic job. So yes, Aiden, if you're watching again, I apologize again. Obviously. No, go ahead.
I tried to friend her, and she's obviously probably busy because I wanted to comment on the post that she had made and said, yeah, he is an idiot, but for real though, I think what the people that were commenting don't really realize is because one guy said, does he not watch the paddock and who's saddling the horses? No, he doesn't, because A, you have to watch TVG, or B, if you're watching track feeds, Ricky covers 4 and 5 tracks a day. He's watching the races. He's not watching who gets saddled.
We don't have time to sit around and watch them feed the horses hay and put the saddle cloth on. I don't have time for that shit. I'll be the first to admit it. So yes.
Yeah.
No,
well, and again, the other thing is it really doesn't matter if Ricky knows who's a male and who's a female. His job is to give you the winner. And by the way, we both picked that horse to win and it won. So congratulations to Aiden. But that's his job. And Ricky said on the show several times, I don't care if I see Chad Brown out in public. I'm going to ask him why his horse didn't win the second race. I don't care.
I might be the harshest critic.
Yeah.
Well, you can come back at me and say, why did you like this horse that ran 8th? And I've come on every live stream. I will throw you into this conversation or into this statement.
Mm-hmm.
I am the most willing to go back at people. Like a lot of people, when we come on the live streams, are like, yeah, and then they try to defend it. I'll be the first to admit that I'm wrong. I more than anyone else on the live streams. And I the youngest one and the least experienced regarding the live streams. I don't care. Your horse sucks or I'm wrong. That's fine. I don't take picking a horse personally. I never do, never will. If you own a horse, let's have a conversation about it. But if you don't, and that's 99.999% of the time. So Aiden Green, if you are watching again, I apologize. it's really, really, really unfortunate that I made that mistake. But at the same time, it is what it is. I love you as a trainer. Honestly, like you are one of my favorite trainers, and I came on here and talked about the percentages. Like I said, I use Kirsto, and I'm reading this Pollock report here, and obviously the connections, your husband with a former trainer who assists Robertino Diodoro now. So you guys are doing fantastic. Aaron, you're not getting off the hook though.
Okay.
Last night, you impersonated Mike Somich, which I thought was hilarious. I thought you did a good job.
Thank you.
You called the track Pompano Park.
Right.
Okay. It's Pompano Park. Now,
Right.
Okay, so you already knew where I was going.
Yeah, no, I knew I messed that up. Yeah.
Okay, so the only reason I bring it up is because we've had this conversation. Many of you guys might not know. I grew up on horse racing on the harness side. Like, that's where I grew up. So for me, like, I think handicapping is two completely different things. And when people try to handicap harness horses or standard bred horses, whatever you prefer, which is fine, doesn't matter. It's two completely different sports as far as I'm concerned. That's why I'll never dabble in the quarter horse game, because I don't know it, don't know the people, just don't know. So I was listening and I was like, he must be talking about another track. This new Pompano Park must be completely different. And then I see Mike Somich come on and he says, yeah, I guaranteed super high 5 or whatever, pick 5, I don't know, whatever the heck he said.
Yeah.
Like, wait a minute. I think this is Pompano Park, which is down in Pompano, Florida. So I just thought that was funny. So your screw up is not nearly as bad as mine, because mine is about a person.
Well,
yours is about a foundation and a facility, and I don't think the facility can get on Facebook and criticize you.
Well, to be fair, I've never watched a race from there, and I never will. I hate harness racing, but I
don't either. No, I don't either. I don't really watch it anymore either. But that's just what I grew up on, and that's what my dad prefers. So I know I grew up going to the Meadowlands more than any other track.
Right.
So I just thought that was funny. So the volume is low. I don't think it's any lower on our end. So we
turn up your volume on your phone or whatever you're listening.
Yeah, we apologize for that. It's not.
Well, I don't apologize because we don't have any control over that.
Yeah, I tried making my volume louder, which should only affect me.
Right.
We have a lot to get to. We have Keeneland opening day. So you know what? I'm not going to make fun of you anymore. I'm going to change. I'm going to change the name to.
I want to make two things very clear. I was not making fun of you on that either. I just thought it was hilarious. Like, I couldn't go to bed.
I didn't think you were. And again, I'm all for it. I made a mistake, and someone wants to, first of all, bless my heart. I don't know who you are, but if you want to come on here and tell me to bless my heart, please do. Please do, because there will be a confrontation, because I didn't say anything bad. I didn't even.
Yeah. That's secondly, I want to say again, Aiden Green was super nice about it. And even when those people were commenting, she was like, I don't care. I'm just glad they're saying nice things. So nothing against you or her, for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, we couldn't have given a better I don't know, diatribe. Let's say diatribe, a better diatribe of her horse.
Whatever that means.
Well, diatribe's like going, on and on and on, a long speed. It's I couldn't have said anything nicer if I tried, outside of listing all the horses that have done well, which I'm not going to do. I'm not going to come on here and list every one. So again, I apologize, Aiden. If you're still listening, thank you for doing so. And if you are still listening as well, I firmly and sincerely apologize. With that being said, we have a lot of stakes races to get to today. Let's start. I didn't really know which way to go. I just figured let's kind of go in alphabetical order. I don't think there's a right way to go about it. I was thinking about doing it chronologically as the day is going to go along, but that kind of went too back and forth. I do want to give Santa Anita a shout out. Thank you for making your big races at a normal time, because you easily could have made it at 8:30 at night, like your big races, the Oaks and the Derby. Thank you for keeping it like in the flow, like it's in the middle of your card. So thank you for keeping in the flow. I think it does a lot of people a lot of good. Let's start with Aqueduct here. Aaron, We have the Gazelle Stakes, a grade 3 for 3-year-old fillies. I know I sent you the schedule, and I meant to put the races in order for that day. So I threw you a little bit off here. This race kind of, in my book, and comes down to search results, right? If search results is going to run her best race, I'm not sure if anyone's going to beat her. She is the winner of the Busher Stakes. The races have been close, but she does come in undefeated. Do you think there's anyone that could really beat her in this spot?
I went kind of deep as far as the multis, but as far as picking a horse to win the race, I kind of had to go number 8 search results. This horse looked awfully good last time out. I think the only kind of question mark, and it kind of is for everybody in this race, is the stretch out. You stretch out in distance, some things can happen that you maybe don't expect. But I think search results looks pretty darn good. And listen, Chad Brown has had a rough first quarter of the year, first 3 months of the year. I think he's getting ready to have a pretty big weekend, and this horse search results could be a big part of it. So, yeah, I put the 8 on top here.
Yeah, I'm with you, but I'm also very nervous in terms of the stretch out.
It's fair.
The other horse that I wanted to talk about a little bit is the 4, Army Wife. Excuse me. This horse has done really, really well on the dirt. Has only lost 1 race. Now, granted, that was at Churchill Downs last year, but she came back in allowance, wins by a nose. I think she wants longer, and she looks like that plotter type. She like that true mid-pack. She if you throw her turf races out, which I'm willing to do because she doesn't look like a turf horse, even though her pedigree by declaration of war would suggest that, she's been pretty good. And if you're not into search results in terms of maybe a time form number, Army Wife on the dirt has gone 81, 93, 99. We're not looking for a 12-point improvement. We're looking for a 5 or 6. That could be good enough. So that's the horse that I'm looking at. Trevor McCarthy, Mike Maker. By the way, shout out Trevor McCarthy. He's done a fantastic job at Aqueduct over the last few months while all the other riders have gone down. He's taken advantage. Let's go to the Wood Memorial Stakes for grade 2, 100 points, I believe, to the winner. Don't quote me on that. I think I'm right. This is, to me, the most wide open of the Derby preps, right? I think you can legitimately make a case, and Aaron, I'll let you start, but I think you can make a case off the top of my head for Brooklyn Strong, Crowded Trade, Risk Taking, Prevalence, and Wayburn if you're into what he did last time out. So that's 5 horses. I think you can make a case for all of them. Where are you going?
Yeah, this certainly is the most confusing of the Derby preps. No question about it. I went back and forth. I had a lot of different horses on top. I landed on number 2, Crowded Trade on top, and I don't love it. But I think this horse is going to be pretty decent going 2 turns. And that last race, and I know Crowded Trade had every chance to win the Gotham, but you got to remember that was his first race against Stakes Company, only the 2nd race overall for this horse. And I don't know if you remember this, Ricky, but when that horse broke its maiden at Aqueduct, it was kind of a nasty day and not much going on. And I texted you and I said, I think this Crowded Trade horse could be pretty good. And you said, yep, I agree. I really liked what I saw there. I liked what I saw on the Gotham. I think this horse can kind of get forwardly placed. I think he'll stay the trip. I like 4-1. I'm going to go back to Crowded Trade one more time here. No confidence in it, really. Well, I shouldn't say no confidence, but little confidence compared to the other ones we're going to talk about. But I think this horse is pretty decent, so I'm going to give him a shot.
Yeah, I actually used Crowded Trade as well. I kind of used Wayburn as more of a defensive use because I don't know what's going to happen there. I was really back and forth, though, between Prevalence and Brooklyn Strong. I went Brooklyn Strong because I've talked about it before. These New York horses are different. And what I mean by that is this is a gritty track. I hate horses that come north. I really, really do. I think the weather affects them a lot. And I think the track is very different. I think the dirt surfaces are different. And I think Brooklyn Strong will be even further back than any of these horses. Just kind of looking at it from what I would say a pace perspective, it's probably going to be Risk Taking and Brooklyn Strong back there. So I kind of like those 2 horses. I think it's going to be really fast. Like for a horse like Candyman Rocket, he has to go. Wayburn has to go. I think Crowded Trade won't be too far back either. So that's where I'm going. Brooklyn Strong. I use, again, Crowded Trade on top, but I think Brooklyn Strong was a horse that we need to take seriously in this spot. Let's go now to Keeneland. We're going to jump forward. Bear with us as I scroll down here. We're going to head to the Ashland first. I believe that is race 9. Someone correct me if I'm wrong. Hopefully I don't pass it. We have the Shakertown race 8. Yes, there we go. The Central Bank Ashland Stakes grade 1 for 3-year-old fillies. Dr. Miranda actually previewed this yesterday, so if you guys want some more coverage and things like that, please go there. Aaron, we have a few horses in this spot, few fillies, I should say, that are making their return off of lengthy layoffs, and I'll kind of give you guys a brief breakdown. We have Simply Ravishing. We haven't seen her since November 28th. Not in the best form. Same thing with Malathot. Malathot's in better form. Haven't seen her since last year. And then we have some runners that have been going a little bit already earlier. That we've seen this year, excuse me. So where are we going here? Field of 6. I think it's a really talented group. In my opinion, there's only one throwout, and then that would be Moonswag. But what do you think here?
Yeah, this was one of the toughest races for me to handicap on all day Saturday, whether it be Keeneland, Santa Anita, Oaklawn, Aqueduct, wherever. I thought this was one of the toughest ones. I went with the number 6, Will Secret, on top, and here's why. I think Simply Ravishing and Malathot, they could certainly win, but we haven't seen them in so long. And Will Secret, here she comes. She's in great form. She's won 3 in a row, 2 at Oaklawn in Kentucky Oaks Preps. I just think she might be a little more fit and ready for this race. And you kind of look at the pace, and it's like, yeah, I could see the 3 and the 5 getting involved early. I think the 6, Will Secret, could sit a pretty decent trip here. So I think Dr. Miranda picked the 6 as well. I'll join the parade. I'll go the 6, Will Secret, on top. I think this horse is just in a little bit better form than some of the main challengers here.
I made the mistake of not using Will Secret last time out. I forgot it was maybe the Honeybee. I might have used Sunpath, who I think were kind of off completely. I'm going to go Simply Ravishing, and here's why. I don't want to say I taught everyone a lesson last time out with Crazy Beautiful, but I think I did. And the reason being, there's just so much class with her. And I talked about this with what race was it at Santa Anita? Oh, God. It was with Swiss Skydiver. She was coming back.
Yeah, the Beholder Mile.
Yeah, Beholder Mile.
Mm-hmm.
It was like she wasn't in the best form, and people were trying to make excuses. And I said, look at the campaign that she had, traveling all over the country. Kind of take a look at Simply Ravishing. Look at her campaign. Now, she hasn't racked up the air miles, but she ran 5 races from August to November. So if we're counting on our heads, that's August, September, October, November. That's a really, really, really tough campaign for a young horse, no less. One of which races were on the turf, so I don't know if I'll throw that out. So even with that, that's 4 races over the dirt. If she has any form at all, and she's any talent, that she could beat this group, because I think Simply Ravishing with a win here easily vaults herself in my book, to the top filly going into the Oaks. Now that's just me. I was high on her last year. I want to see a good performance, though, because I think Aaron, agree or disagree, but I think going into the Breeders' Cup Juvenile Filly, a lot of people were saying this is our early Oaks contender. So going into that race. Yeah. So I'm willing to hop back on that train, and I think, to be honest, 5-2, if she runs well, this might be the best price you get in quite some time on her. So I'll go there. What do you think of Malathot? Because I'm all out. I was all out then. So I'm not going to just play devil's advocate. I was all out when we saw who did she beat? What other? Oh, Milf Will. Yeah, that horse couldn't beat us. And I said that race isn't that good. The Damoiselle's not that good. Do you like her here? I'm not with her at all.
Yeah, 2 things. Cap and Quarter just says, I think Travel Column is for sure Oaks' favorite unless Ravishing crushes. I agree with that. And I kind of think that's kind of what you meant. You need to see a good performance, a really good performance from Simply Ravishing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Which, in that kind of field, 2-3 linked win, that's kind of crushing. So I think you guys are on the same page. With Malathot, I'm defensively using this horse. This horse, everybody I talk to, we love this horse. We love this horse. This horse can be great. I'm with you in the camp of, I'm not going to play this horse at a short price tomorrow. It's just not going to happen. I just don't see a reason why when you've got other options that look just as good. When you look at this just on paper, Malthot should not win, period.
Oh, yeah.
So that's where I'm at. But I'm going to use defensively because I don't want to hit this, or miss this thing because this horse wins. Because, everybody I talk to that I respect says, oh, Malthot, this is a really good horse. But I'm with you. I'm going to try to take a shot against her. I know you're way against her, and I respect it. And a lot of people are gonna have this horse bet pretty hard tomorrow. So it'll be interesting to see how she runs. But you're right. As far as the resume, who have you beaten? It ain't much.
Yeah, for me, I'll be honest. I went deep also. I went with the 236. I used Will Secret. I want nothing to do with Malthot. And I might have a yolk on my face, as they say. I might be the idiot tomorrow when Malthot wins by 3. She's going to be too short of a price for me. Yes, Vicky chimes in. Pass the champagne. I love this horse. I really hope. The problem with her, and I know we're kind of going on a rant, I think she needs to be in the lead to win. And Javier Castellano is the most patient rider I know. So I'm not saying he's not good. I think he's one of the best. Just like I said, Jose Ortiz was one of the best, and people thought I was an asshole. I just think his style fits a horse that's going to be further back. But this is going to be a compact field anyway. If you're 6-7 lengths off the lead, you shouldn't be riding because this is going to be such a close group. I think it's going to be slower. So Vicky, I'm with you. Pass the champagne, a horse to keep your eye on. Let's move now.
Real quick, before you move on, I'm 100% with you guys on that. I use Pass the Champagne and everything as well. I use 4 horses, and the only difference is I put Malthot because I'm not as hater on her. But honestly, if I had to take one out, that would be the one because I'm very interested in Pass the Champagne.
Yeah. Jay Will says, I was hoping you would like this Pass the Champagne. Yeah, I like her. I think Aaron does as well.
Yep.
And should get a piece likely. I say third. You know what? That's fine because I think Simply Ravishing, again, is just so much better. So I'll be willing to take a price. What am I going to do with Malthot? You're going to have to take a short price more than likely, unless the tote board will be interesting. Because if she goes off at 3-1, that means people know something that I don't, that means I was in the right camp potentially, but we'll find that out. We have to move on. Let's go to the Essential Quality Stakes. No, sorry. It's not the Essential Quality Stakes. It is the Toyota Bluegrass Grade 2, 100 points on the line. Essential Quality, Aaron, the only reason, and I don't believe this isn't like an exhibition race when you'd have this with horses. I forgot who we had it last time with Greatest Honor. And what I mean by that is we were talking about, his Greatest Honor just going out there for a workout. You don't do that with a horse. like this isn't spring training. So Essential Quality in theory could run last, still get in the gate, doesn't need the points. I don't know if anyone's beating him. Even if with a B minus race, can we beat this horse? This is, I think, a single for me.
Yeah, a lot of people like to say, well, they're not going to be fully cranked for this race. These races are very important. Yes, I know this isn't the Kentucky Derby, but winning the Bluegrass is a big, big deal. So trust me, they will try to win this race with Essential Quality. I'm right, I'm right there with you. Essential Quality all the way. I think if you're trying to beat him, you're kind of just making up reasons in your head that aren't really there on paper, which is fine. And I understand people don't want to play a short price, and that's fine. And like Jared Bush right here, I'm interested in number 2, Untreated. I am too. I mean, that's kind of the horse we don't know about. Ran pretty well last time out at Tampa. But again, you're projecting a pretty big improvement this time. And Essential Quality is going to have to come back a little to the 2. The one thing that I'm really fascinated about, the lack of pace in this race is absolutely incredible. Essential Quality and Highly Motivated should be on the lead here. Like, there is no other speed outside of those two, and those two are not that quick early either. So who gets the lead, how this race kind of plays out from a race shape perspective could be super interesting here. And the one way maybe Essential Quality gets beat is if gets out of the gate poorly and maybe the 3 just gets way out ahead and he can't catch him. I mean, that's possible. But how this race plays out is going to be interesting, but I think Essential Quality kind of airs here.
You know what I would like to see, and I don't think it's going to happen? I'm praying it doesn't happen. If Corey Lannery says, screw it, I'm 30-1, I'll take Sit on Go to the front and see what I can do. Because for a while, and I was in this camp, I was first to admit it, I was all over Sitting on Go last year. Like, all over him. And I was like, holy crap, this horse is impeccable.
Yeah.
And not only is this horse trash, but it's one of those things, right, where it's like, if you're Corey Lannery, and this horse, I don't believe, has any points. Correct? I don't think Sitting on Go has any points to this point.
Right.
Why not? Like, if you're any long shot, if you're Rafi Bejarano, if you're Joel Rosario, you have to be looking at this race saying, why not? Like, why not get to the lead? And even if you think about it, to Aaron's point, even if you go to the lead and lose, you still might get second or third, which not only is that good purse money, it'll get you some points and you can feel decent about yourself. But if you're Sitting on Go or Keep Me in Mind, are you going to close and beat Essential Quality? Like, what? You might as well go, even though your races don't say that. If I'm Corey Lannery or David Cohen, I'm going after the lead. And if I have to, it has that feel of one of these jockeys are going to do that, because why not? That's what I'm saying. And I don't know which one it is yet. And I would include that horse. I don't know which one it is. I wish I did. If someone said it's going to be Rombauer, then that would be I would use that horse. I just don't know. Yep. Magic chimes in, says Aaron's impression of Samich was impeccable. I don't mind you including that along the way if you want to revamp that.
I might. Yeah.
Yeah. So keep us going. I'm happy Magic chimed in here because he only, he's a West Coast guy. I know it's early for him. It's 8:26. I'm happy he chimed in, and we're not at the Santa Anita racing, but we're going to. Let's get to the one race we want to cover at Oaklawn Park on Saturday. That's for Phillies. No male love. No, I'm just kidding. That's going to be next week in the Arkansas Derby. We have a field of 7. We have Sunpath, who I just talked about. We have Coach. We have a lot of horses that are going to fit. Magic said he just woke up. Well, perfect timing to hear me scream. I'm like an alarm. I put Pauline's Pearl on top. Now, maybe I'm a little out of my mind, which I don't believe so. The problem is, what has she really faced in terms of, I'm not the biggest Will Secret fan, but she does seem to be getting better. This is another race, Aaron. I'm not sure where the pace is coming from. Maybe from Ava's Grace and Sylvia Q, but in this short field, to your point, you've said this for a long time, when it's a short field and there's some speed, they just kind of let each other settle in. So do you think Pauline's Pearl has a shot at 9-5, granted morning line favorite? She does kind of seem vulnerable, even though I put her on top.
I've hated these Oaklawn races for the Phillies all year because I can't get them right, and this one is just, I don't like it at all. I put the 5-horse Take Charge Lauren on top, and it's more of I'm sick of Sunpath, saying I'm sick of Coach, and I'm not sure. Sylvia Q I thought about, and then Pauline's Pearl I thought about, but I thought, let's take a shot with the 6-1 horse Take Charge Lauren. I thought the big key was, Will's Secret has been winning at Oaklawn and dominating, and now she's in the Bluegrass. But did she go to the Bluegrass so the same ownership group could run Take Charge Lauren right here because they're pretty high on this horse and they think this horse can win? Maybe. Where's the pace going to come from? Well, it might come from Take Charge Lauren. If you look at the race last time out, this horse showed early speed, and I think that was kind of the key to get this horse a victory finally. I realize going to have to have another little improvement. Horse has 4 races under its belt. It won at Oaklawn Park last time out. I'll just take a swing at 6-1 here with Take Charge Lauren.
Yeah, Magic chimes in with Lauren. That's David Cabrera, Dallas Stewart. The only thing about her, I think, if she shows some speed like she did last time, then take this thought, what I'm about to say. All her other races have come from off the pace. So I kind of just figured she would be coming from off the pace, which I don't think she's as good as doing so as like Sunpath and Pauline's Pearl. But if she is aggressive and does push forward, then I'm with you. I think she has a shot. I just don't think she's going to, if that makes sense. I just don't know. Good price though. I don't mind the price at all.
My thing is, if you don't send her, what are you doing? Because like you said, You've got 3 races where she sucked and 1 race where we put her towards the front and she ran well. So,
no, I'm with you there. Right,
Yeah.
like you should be sending her.
Yeah.
I still don't think she's good enough, but to your point, that is the best.
No, and that's fair. That's totally fair. Who are you picking? You didn't give a pick. Did you?
I said. Oh well.
Oh yeah, you did. Sorry.
Now who's not listening? Magic. He's too busy saying Pompano Park. He's ordering a Pompano at the restaurant.
Yeah, that's right.
Right, can I have my Pompano medium? Let's get to the Santa Anita Oaks Grade 2 for 3-year-old Phillies. Magic, I believe, or maybe it was you. I didn't see who the author was. Wrote a fantastic article on the website. It's Mraz versus Beautiful Gift. I know Ellen Hardy has 5-2 morning line. Going to tend to agree with the article and say that this is a 2-horse battle between Mraz and Beautiful Gift. Which way, Aaron, are you going here? We have, for the record, we have this race and then one more Santa Anita race, and then we'll get to Keeneland. This is race 6, the Santa Anita Oaks. Which way are you going here in another paceless race?
Yeah, I'll take Beautiful Gift. I just, if it's a 2-horse race, I'll always just go with Baffert, especially at Santa Anita. So I think Beautiful Gift looked pretty good last time, but I'll probably honestly just use them both and move on. I mean, it's close between these two.
So I think I'm going to take Mraz, and here's why. If we watched the race last time out, and the comment, is pretty true here. Had to go 3 wide and briefly led at the 5/16, and then was nailed at the wire. Beautiful Gift really just kind of just sat the perfect trip. Now, that's not why you're taking Beautiful Gift. It was a beautiful trip. You're going with the Baffert angle. I can't hate you for doing that. I think you're nuts to single. You have to use the 1 and 5, to be brutally honest. I know some people make for a horse like Javanica the best rate. I mean, I'm not taking a horse that hasn't won since a maiden race over the turf course. And you could tell me that this horse is doing better going longer at the miles in 1/8 distance at Golden Gate in the El Camino Real Derby to Rombauer. That horse was closing, and Javanica was supposed to win, in my book. Granted, facing Rombauer, I never liked Golden Gate races. Do you like her at all? I'm willing to throw her. I think 5-2 is a crazy price. I think the Mraz and Beautiful Gift, are much better.
Yeah, I do too. I just think those two are the best two, and I think Magic said it best on the preview. 2-horse race.
Yeah, I mean, Magic always says the right things when it comes to the West Coast. He's the West Coast correspondent. Let's go to race 8, the Run Happy Santa Anita Derby, Grade 1 for 3-year-olds. Again, got a ton of points on the line. This is right, Aaron, the battle of California horses. We've seen them do battle before. I'm going to preview that, which with some of the races that we've seen in the past. The San Felipe and the RB Lewis, kind of what we would say are preps to this race. This is a prep, but it's a prep to the prep. I guess that's the best way of saying it. The only one, I think Medina Spirit has been the most consistent, but Medina Spirit was horrible to Life is Good. Now, maybe Life is Good would have beaten this field by a bunch, and that's fair. Aaron, now that Life is Good is no longer on the trail and no longer running, knock on wood, Life is Good comes back and comes back well, hopefully towards maybe the end of 2020. Is that like a potential Travers horse, Life is Good? Like, do we have a timetable on Life is Good, or are we not?
Yeah, they said might be able to go back a little bit quicker than they thought. So they were thinking Breeders' Cup, but now it could be Travers. So yeah, we'll see. The injury wasn't as serious as they thought, but yeah, no Life is Good now. So look at it. It's a kind of there's a lot of horses in it. I don't really know if it's a wide open field, right? I mean,
oh yeah. Tell us what you think then. If Life is Good, I think we would all assume Life is Good. If Life is Good is running, this isn't a wide open field, but I kind of thought it was.
No,
I guess Medina Spirit is the prevailing favorite and should be, but I don't know. I'll make a case for a few others, but go ahead. Tell us where you're going.
I just feel like Medina Spirit has beaten most of these, you know. So like I get like, hey, maybe Dream Shake can kind of turn the tables a little bit because, you know, second time going long and you know, could get a little better. But I think it's between the 2 and the 7. But I think Medina Spirit's kind of just a little bit better than the rest of them. I'm expecting this horse to win. I don't think it's completely wide open. The other horse, you know, I thought about was the Great One, but it's like, yeah, you take that whole body of work. This horse is not. He's just kind of the mediocre one, really, you know. So I really thought the 2 and the 7 is what this came down to.
I'm going to put all my eggs into the Parnelli basket. No, I'm kidding. Parnelli's terrible. You know who I am interested in, though? And I'm dead serious. The Great One. Now, Life is Good would have aired this field, and I think would have done so easily. Medina Spirit is the speed, but I think the Great One might be sitting right off of his tail. And at 8-1, I would go in a few different directions. I don't know if any speed is good enough to keep up with Medina Spirit, but maybe a horse that's a long shot does try to challenge him early on and see what happens. And I wouldn't mind the Great One. I did put Medina Spirit on top. To your point about Dream Shake, I don't know. I feel like Dream Shake is just going to have to pass a lot of horses. Maybe going, it didn't seem all that comfortable going a mile and a 16th last time out. That was the thing that can, now again, like, what do you do with that race? Like, Life is Good is just so much better than this group. So I'm not sure. Like, it's tough to compare any race with Life is Good because he aired that field. So I'll just take a look at the Great One. I do agree with Aaron. Medina Spirit is the horse to beat, but take a look at the Great One. All right, let's move on to today's Keeneland card. Congratulations to everyone who stayed on this long without having to listen to any of the great Keeneland racing today, Aaron. It's absolutely fantastic. We have stakes races galore on opening day at Keeneland, where we're going to start in race number 7. And you know what the great thing about this one is for me? I'm going to try to beat Fauci. I'm going to try to do it. Now, again, I might have yolk on my face. I think in the pick 4, I used Fauci, but I don't think in the pick 5 I did. So I'll let you start. That's just, I should have let him start. I apologize. All right, Aaron, here we go. You have a $10 win wager on my top choice. So sneak it away. Shocker. Top choice. You're also going to try to beat Fauci. But go ahead. Tell us where you're going here and why. This is the Palisades Turf Sprint Stakes. I love this race. I live on Palisade Avenue, so of course I'm going to like the Palisades Turf Sprint. 5.5 furlongs on. I just love turf sprints. All right. What are you thinking here?
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm going to try to beat Fauci as well. I kind of think this horse is a little bit overhyped. And I'm with you again that I used him, but it was deep tickets. I don't know. I think I put him in 4th, actually. So I kind of used him a little bit. Yeah, I'm pretty excited to see number 2 Bodenheimer back here. $10 win wager, makes the debut after finishing 8th in the Breeders' Cup Juvenile Turf Sprint, just kind of over his head. But the race 2 back was able to win over this track and at this distance and beat a horse named Cowan, who went on to finish 2nd in that Breeders' Cup Juvenile Turf Sprint. And in that race that Bodenheimer finished 8th, just didn't get off to a great start. And if you don't get off to a great start in a race of that caliber and that level, you're kind of screwed. So I just kind of drew a line through it. I think the horse comes back to run pretty well today. And you're getting value at 4-1. And I think Fauci's going to be hammered here. So I'm going to start it off. I think we get every bit of 4-1. So a $10 win wager on the 2 is where I'll start things up.
So I apologize. I don't know why I tried to guess. I didn't use Fauci in the pick 4. My ticket's scrolling, and I try to guess if I used the horse or not. I'm not using Fauci at all either. I'm with you on Bodenheimer. I mean, in the juvenile turf sprint, at Kentucky Downs over a soft turf course, so take that for what you wish. Granted, their turf course is very weird in the way it's shaped out, and it looks like it's in the farm in the middle of nowhere. I'm with you guys. You don't even know who's winning the race. There are no odds. It's very weird. Very fun, though. They went 6.5 furlongs, and I'm not sure Bodenheimer really wants to go that far. I think this horse is a true 5.5, maybe 6 at the most, based, and last time out against Golden Pal, I don't know, Aaron. I'm not doing anything with that one. You're right. Bad start. No thanks. Well, once a speed horse is fourth, it's over. It's absolutely over. I do want to talk about Faucio for a minute, and this is why. He beat United and Resolute, who comes into this race at 10-1. Now, granted, United and Resolute took a while to break the maiden, and yet has 2 turf races, finished second and third. Is Fauci that much better than United and Resolute? I don't know, and I'm going to take that price. Now, that's a long ways back. The biggest thing for me was why I didn't use Fauci, not having run since September 12th, and I don't mind horses off of layoffs if it's like a turf route or a dirt route where they want to close, right? And you can get your feet under you and you realize where you are, and yeah, there will be a crowd today, and you can kind of meander. That's a good word. Meander your way into the race, right? I think that's a proper word. Meander. Take your time. Settle in. Nice cup of coffee. You have to go in this race. You have to go. And if he's not ready, it's going to be a bad performance, and I'm not taking that price. The other one I'm interested in, Blameworthy. And you know why? That speed on the dirt can really show itself on the turf. Now, this is your angle, right? First time turf.
Yep.
Not my favorite angle. I like a lot of angles. This isn't my favorite one, but this horse looks like it has supreme speed. I don't know if Blameworthy isn't a monster on the turf. I have no idea, but I'm going to take that price, Florent Giroux. And how about the 3, Chasing Artie? This horse gets to the turf for the first time. Looks pretty good doing it. I don't know what he beat. Maybe that's a Joel Rosario factor. I don't know. I think Fauci's primed for a spot here. Someone comes in with United and Resolute. Yes, I'm using United and Resolute. And if United and Resolute wins, you'll hear me on Wednesday talk about it. What other horses? Now, I know you used the 2 Bodenheimer, and I put Bodenheimer on top as well. We'll get to a few other comments after Aaron goes. Aaron, what are a few other horses that you were looking in, maybe a price, or maybe why you didn't use Fauci? We can go either direction.
With Fauci, I just think overbet, first race in a while. And kind of got beat by Golden Pal, which that's fine, and then got beat by Outador. And it's just like, I kind of want a horse that's got a little bit of meat on the resume. And, listen, we could definitely get beat here with Fauci, but I just think there's so many other good ones to play. And I think somebody said the 7, I think that makes sense. I think the 1 makes a little bit of sense, turf sprinting here. I mean, I just think there's a lot of options. And there you go. The 1 looking at Loki. When this horse is turf sprinted, has been very, very, very good. So there's just a lot of other ways to go, and I just think Fauci's going to be overbet.
No, I'm with you. If Fauci comes in at 4-1, I think we're having a different conversation. But this horse is probably, with Wesley Ward, Gaff Leon, this horse is probably going to be like 7-8-5, maybe a little lower. Like, no thanks. In a race, to be brutally honest, he's not the speed of speed either. So you're going to be sitting mid-pack. No, I don't want that. I really, really don't. Let's get to a couple of the comments. Yes, everyone's all over looking at Loki. I didn't really, or Loki, whatever. I didn't consider that horse, but maybe I should have, right? Last time out in the Black Gold Stakes, I think that this horse doesn't want to go long. So I think we could throw that out. The last turf race, I mean, this horse is good on the turf. I just think there are horses that are better, but I don't hate this one. I like this horse at a price. Let's get to a few other ones. Not using the doctor, Jared. I don't know who the doctor. Oh, Dr. Fauci. We'll see what Jared thinks. Vicky chimes in looking for Loki or Locky. Still not sure. And then Jared's kind of yeah, the price is 12-1 over 10-1. I mean, I think you're going to get a price on looking at Loki or United and Resolute. So that's why I went. And any final thoughts before we move on here, Aaron? Anything you want to add?
No, not really. I think we covered this one pretty good. And there's a lot of people that like and looking for. I think it's Loki, so we'll stick with that. A lot of people liking that horse, like myself. But yeah, I think this is a really, really good race. I mean, this is just going to be a lot of fun to watch this one. Let's
move on to race 8. That's the Beaumont Stakes. I think I'm saying that right. At first glance yesterday, I was like, oh, cool, the Belmont. They're gonna have a race here at Keeneland, the Belmont Stakes, and I was like, I can't really read. It's the Beaumont Stakes for 3-year-old fillies going 7 furlongs. And you know what the coolest thing is? You know why I hated what was the biggest thing I hated about Gulfstream the most? Not the turf runners. That doesn't count, Aaron. What was the thing I hated the most?
I have no idea.
You know what it is? About 7.5 furlongs.
Oh, yes. Okay.
So here at Keeneland, I'm so happy it's back. It's 7 furlongs and 184 feet. Not 183 or not 185. 184 feet. So thank you guys for adding that. Really happy we had and the extra 184 feet. 3-year-old fillies. I don't know what Slumber Party is, but she might be a monster. I have no clue. I have no idea what this filly did on opening day. You have a win wager on her. Oh my goodness. I really, really wish this filly might have gotten her career a little bit going a little bit earlier. I wonder if Gary and Mary West watch her. If she romps today, are they going to be looking at each other or the group? Are they going to be looking at each other and saying, I don't know. I wish we got her going a little earlier. She looks like she might be an Oaks horse. Yeah. I mean, right? The problem is the career just got going a little bit too late. I don't think they really knew what they had. So I'm all in on Slumber Party. I did want to talk about the 720 carat. The stewards kept her out of the winner's circle the first time, so she had to break her maiden again, and she only broke her maiden by 7 3/4. Maybe she's a monster. I'm not sure. I look at this race, right, and either the 2 and 7 they are much better than everyone else, or they're balanced. They're primed for a balanced performance. Mm-hmm. So that's why I also threw in the 4. Amalfi Princess as well, who's finished first and second on the dirt in 2 starts. Tell me what you thought of Slumber Party. Slumber Party is your win wager as well.
Yeah, this race, it's another one, a very good race. I think you could go a lot of different directions. But yeah, I went with a $10 win wager on Slumber Party. I mean, how could you not be impressed with that race last time out? I mean, that was just a super impressive performance. Certainly right after that, you go, okay, they got to go to a stakes next time. The race was at 7 furlongs. This race is at 7 furlongs. And, I look at some of the other established horses here, and I think, I definitely think Slumber Party can jump up and win here. So $10 to win on this one. I don't think we're going to quite get the value that we're going to get on Bodenheimer. The 3 Farsighted is another one I really liked. Last time out, winning that stakes there at Gulfstream Park, but first time going 7, and that's kind of a little bit of a worry with the 3. But this horse, I think, does have a lot of talent and definitely has a lot of experience. Hasn't been great, but pretty good always when going 1 turn. So definitely interested in the 3. And then I think the 4 is another one, getting back to the dirt. That's what this horse wants to do. So I went pretty simple with 2, 3, and 4. But on top, and the $10 win wager goes on number 2 Slumber Party.
Yeah, Jared chimes in and says he likes the 3 Farsighted, who we'll talk about. But you also are using a lot of Kelly. Oh, I think he meant Kelly Breen. Right. Kelly Breen entrance. I mean, you can't go wrong with using Kelly Breen runners. Kelly Breen does a fantastic job. Did well at Florida and Gulfstream. Now going to ship up here. So that's not a bad angle. Let's talk about the 3 a little bit. Guys, if you want to, like Jared's doing, please chime in with your thoughts and comments. We'll get them up there. The 3 is Farsighted. I'm not sure what to make of this filly. In the Any Limit Stakes, it was over a sloppy track, so I'm not going to put that much stock into that, to be brutally honest. And I don't know what she beat. And what do you? I don't really love her, to be honest. What do you think? I mean, she could win, but I don't. I think there are horses that are better.
Yeah, I'm kind of with you on that. I am. I really think it's between those three. I mean, I don't know. I think if Slumber Party runs back to that last race, I don't know. I think they're going to run for second here. I was pretty high on this horse. So when that happens, and Dennis, I think, said this on a show not too long ago, sometimes when you really have a horse you love, you do kind of block out some of the other ones. And I think that's what happened here with me, because I just think Slumber Party, this could be kind of a rising star, right? And the Breen, the Kelly Breen comment, I like Kelly Breen when he gets a good jockey. I feel like the jockeys kind of know those horses that he has. And when he gets a good one, those horses usually run well.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. I'm absolutely with you there. We again need to move on. Aaron and I have a lot of stuff going on today. The Kentucky Utilities Transylvania Stakes. Again, at first I thought it was the Kentucky University Stakes. It's not. We have, on paper, it kind of looks like it's a 2-horse race in my book. But there is one standout, right? And it's the Turf Specialist by Declaration of War, 3 Diamonds Farm, Mike Maker, Tyler G, Fire at Will. This horse on the turf is 2 for 3. Won 3 races in a row, and then tried the Fountain of Youth, and that was dreadful. And Fire at Will lost to Greatest Honor, who wasn't great in the Florida Derby last time out. So where do we go here? Aaron, are you I guess it's my turn, so I'll start.
Yeah.
For me, I know you were thrown off by that for a minute. I'm going to go right back to Fire at Will. I'm going to go right back to the drawing board and use this horse. Everything about this horse screams turf. And I think the only reason they tried the Fountain of Youth is because they really wanted to get this horse into the Derby. That's the, I don't know if it was pressure on Mike Maker to do so. I don't know if Kirk Wyckoff and the rest of the group said, let's just give it a shot. Maybe this race was always in their minds anyway for Fire at Will. It is interesting, though. Interesting to note that Tyler G is going to pick up this mount here. They not having rode since the maiden special weight when he lost to American Monarch. I'm going to throw it to you now. So I went to Fire at Will. I also used the 6 Earl's Rock. Earl's Rock has not lost since coming to the United States, but I do think Fire at Will is the true horse to beat if he runs his best race. Aaron, where are you going here in the Kentucky Utilities Transylvania Stakes?
Yeah, I couldn't get away from Fire at Will. I had to put Fire at Will on top here. I just think he's the best horse. I love getting back to the turf. So $10 to win on Fire at Will. Hopefully he doesn't let us down. The horse I'm really interested to see run here is the number 1 Scarlet Sky. Because we've talked about Annex and how we think Annex might be just a little overrated. Well, this is a horse that Annex beat by a head last time out when these two faced. Let's see what happens today. What if Scarlet Sky wins? All of a sudden, Annex stock kind of goes up here. So very interested to see what he does. But overall, couldn't get away from Fire at Will. So I went $10 to win on Fire at Will here. Let's
get to a few of the comments.
Mm-hmm.
Only scratches in the pick 4 sequence is Albin. Yes. You know what the great thing about Keeneland and I wanted to throw this to Aaron before I finish this comment. In a 3-week meet like this, all these horses are going to run once, pretty much. Maybe you'll see some lower level horses try to make 2 starts, maybe just for the purse money. But they're all primed for this meet. This isn't like Gulfstream where it's like, all right, we'll try here, but if the horse doesn't look quite right, we could try again in like another week. You know what I mean? Like they're all primed for this spot, especially this turf spot. Real quick, Aaron, before we get to some of these comments, which are good, please keep chiming in. We will answer them. What is your definition of a boutique meet? Is Saratoga a boutique meet? That's 6 weeks. Does it have to be a month or less? I was having this conversation with my dad, and he said if it's less than 30 race days at that time, it's a boutique meet. And I said, well, that's interesting because Keeneland kind of has 2 boutique meets then, right? Because they come back in the fall. So it's interesting. Do you have a true definition? Like we know Kentucky Downs is. They run for 2 weeks. That's a boutique meet. Gulfstream's clearly not. I would say Santa Anita's not. So what in your book, off the top of your head, is a boutique meet? Like what qualifies?
I think this one does for sure. Keeneland, Kentucky Downs, kind of. I don't think Saratoga, Del Mar do.
It's close though, right?
It's close. Yeah.
It's not a right answer. I'm not saying you should be right or wrong. I just thought it was an interesting topic.
Yeah, that's debatable. I guess they kind of are. They kind of are. But Keeneland is for sure. 1,000% Keeneland is.
Yeah, I would say if it's 3 weeks, if it's a month or shorter at a given time, then yes, it's a boutique meet. That's my definition. Yeah. And Saratoga's not, Del Mar's not. And Del Mar also, I'm going to say Del Mar is only in the fall because it's shorter than a month. Like that's weird. Like Saratoga runs once. Del Mar does have that short, I think they run like in November, Aaron, right? Like that short stretch in November. All right, let's get to a few comments. Guys, chime in. What is a boutique meet? Tell us what you think a boutique meet is. Tyler G has done so well here. Yeah, Tyler G made his name here in Kentucky and did really, really well, made good connections and ran well at Saratoga. Tyler G was not a Saratoga guy for a long time, but he's done well. He is well known, nationally known. Jared Bush says, I use Palazzi underneath, hitting the board for show. You know what? I did too. Can handle the distance, pioneer of the Nile. We know that. Great pedigree. This horse has done pretty well on the turf, so I think this horse can hit the board. What did you think of Palazzi? Anything or not really?
I thought about this horse for a while. At the end of the day, I just couldn't quite get there. I think I played this horse last time out as well at Fairgrounds and lost. I couldn't quite get there with them, but listen, if Fire Will doesn't win, I do think it opens things up big time. So then we'll see what happens. But I just think Fire Will is just a lot better than Palazzi.
Yeah, I'm with you. And to Jared's point, we agree it's like a show horse. I don't think anything more. Girls Rock is the best bet of the day on Horse Racing Nation for what it's worth. Solid bet against. This is the typical. Do you like class or do you like form? That's what it is in my book. And I'm a class guy. I believe that these runners, especially off these layoffs. First of all, Fire at Will does have a race on February 27th. I don't know what that race really was, to be honest. Mountain of Youth. To this point, though, Girls Rock is the horse that has been in form, but what did he beat in the Baffle Stakes? Like he can't run the same race and win in either race, in the Baffle or the Maiden Special. That's not good enough. We know what Fire at Will is. So yeah, for me, a bet against. If I had to make a win bet, I'm taking Fire at Will.
I like Girls Rock second. I think it's kind of a stranger danger type horse. I'm not going to be shocked if this horse pulls off an upset. I couldn't get there as far as putting him on top. And I think you said it right. I'm really skeptical of what this horse has faced. And you got the Santa Anita connections coming to Keeneland. Usually that doesn't translate very well. So for that to be the best bet is surprising for someone, but we'll see what happens here. I mean, this horse has talent. I'm not saying this horse doesn't have talent. I'm just kind of skeptical.
And then Jared says, I see a duel up front between the 1 and the 4 and the 6 grab it. I don't think so, personally. Palazzi should be close. Yeah. I believe Palazzi will be close. I'm not sure who the speed is. Maybe Fire Will. I really don't know. Rosario is going to be tough all day, or you think it has to be the perfect trainer. I think this is such a good group. Just look at this race alone. Luis Saez, Joel Rosario, Tyler G, Drayden Van Dyke moves from California out to Kentucky. Chris Landeros is the worst trainer. and this is not the worst rider. And Chris Landeros, I think, is great. I think he's really, really solid. So that just goes to show, do I ever single any horses? Yeah, when I feel like it's appropriate. Like, I use 2 horses. I use 3 horses here because I think Palazzi at a price makes sense. And that this is what people need. So I'm going to break this down. When you have a day like this, and I believe there's a guaranteed pick 4, $200,000 pick 4. Well, I'm not saying not to single a horse. If you want to single a horse, go ahead and use Fire at Will. That would be my recommendation. Like, these are suggestions, folks. We're not saying like go out and spend every like that's just that is what it is. So I single a horse when I think there's a crazy horse. How about this? I'm singling Drain the Clock on Saturday in his race. I think Drain the Clock was going to win that race by 6 lengths. So when I think it's appropriate, I will. If I don't think it's appropriate, I'm not going to. Let's move on to race 10. Maiden special weight going 1 1/16 miles. You were supposed to go last race first.
Was I?
You're all over the place. He's like, see, this is what I'm saying. You have 7 and 9. I have 8 and 10. So now we'll switch it up. Your turn. Go ahead.
The problem is it's opening day of Keeneland and people just have trouble logging into their accounts. So while the Rocket Hour is going, I'm trying to get people logged into the accounts. I'm trying to get people their products. I'm trying to answer, why isn't the tickets up on Ensemble Bombs? Well, he waits until an hour before the post to do it. So I have to do 100 things at once. Fridays are my least favorite shows, not because of you, Ricky, because it's swamped over here. And I'm the only one that answers this shit. So when we go to the 10th race at Keeneland, I kind of stayed with the theme of the win wager. So I went $10 to win on the 9 here in this last race. Listen, I kind of think this is, like I said a little bit earlier, we're talking about stakes. You can't keep Chad Brown down for long. And I kind of think he's got this horse pretty well placed today, the 9 horse Precipitate. And listen, mile 16th, I think this horse needs 2 turns. I think she is going to sit a pretty nice stalking outside trip. And I think this is going to be the one that gets first run at the leaders. That being said, I kind of think the 8 is going to set the pace, and I like that horse at a price. So if you're looking exotics, the 8 is definitely one I look at. And here is a big thing for Keeneland. Speed, no matter turf or dirt, is usually pretty tough to beat. So if you see one and you think, I don't know, might be a little bit outclassed, well, if you get the lead, we can take them a long way. So I think the 8 is definitely dangerous here. But I did put the 9 on top. That's where the win wager will go. 9-8. That was my top 2.
How about this? I put the 8 on top.
All right.
So I'm with you. Yeah. See, I'm the smart guy. Letting Aaron Halterman take a crack at the maiden special weight. I'm with you about this 8 horse. There was some speed last time out, and Euphoric went on to win again. I think an allowance optional claiming or an allowance race. Or starter optional, whatever. Gabe Saez isn't my favorite trainer. Favorite trainer. Isn't my favorite rider, but I've said this a lot of times. If your instructions are to go to the lead, really, really simple. The next question is, can you make weight? If you can make weight, then you can ride the horse. I mean, it's not that difficult. I think this is a wide open race, though. I'm with you on Precipitate. The problem is, she didn't get any better stretching out, and she didn't look any better in 2021. I used her very, very defensively. The other horse I wanted to talk about was Iliogami. Great name, by the way. Mm-hmm. The tap it part I thought was interesting because you could see Rusty Arnold starts her out going a mile, and the tap it pedigree suggests that this horse won't want anything less. I can't remember a tap it horse wanting less than a mile off the top, a good one off the top of my head. So that's for starters. And then you have the Irish pedigree, Odalise, I think is the mare. I hope I pronounced that properly. So it makes sense for them to start on the turf. They ran into Sylvia Q, and we just talked about Sylvia Q in one of the Oaks. What was it? Was it the Fantasy that we talked about Sylvia Q, or the Ashton or something? One of those.
Fantasy.
Right. So, okay. So this horse finishes second to that horse. Sorry, if we see a replication of that, this horse is in the winner's circle. Now, I don't know if she will or not based on the layoff, but she was getting better and better as 2020 ended. Excuse me. So that's why I went 5, 8, 9. All right, let's get to a few of these comments. I like the 7 GGB.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you like, sure. How about if it's the same angle, right? If you like Pass the Champagne a little bit, and then you like GGB, bet every horse and you can't lose. Yeah,
Sure.
you can do that. You could give that a shot. We don't recommend it. Now try to pronounce the 8's name. Okay, let's try it. I'm gonna go with Chione. Chione. What were you gonna say? Chione?
I can't think of anything funny to say. I was going to say something really stupid, but
Well, I figured you were, but so I went Chione.
I would have said Chione if I would have tried it. Yeah, but I'm sure it's not that. Yeah,
New York Italian, Chione. Give me a shot. I have no idea. Tamper Twist is a wild card. Oh, Tamper Twist. I think he means temperament twist. Well, you were close enough. Not for me. Not for me. And the reason why, I have no indication that this horse is going to get any better. More at a distance, this horse fades. The only thing you could say, the only thing to Jared's point that maybe he's looking at, Pass the Champagne, Slumber Party, who we just talked about, right? We just talked about Slumber Party, and Harper's in Charge. And then, that race was pretty good with Loose Scoot Boogie as well. That's the only thing. You could just say those fields were so much tougher, but Iliogami ran second to a horse that I think is better than the rest of this group. What do you think of the 3, Temperament Twist?
Temperament Twist is the horse I used in 4th. So if I was going 3 deep like you did, that would be – I think we had the exact same 4, actually. I'm with you. I think this horse – my only kind of worry is it hasn't really been close in any of these races. And I know it's like you said, well, the 8 wasn't close, but we've only seen the 8 once. We've seen the 8 3 times, but stretch out distance, that could be the big key. So I thought it was one worth using. It makes sense. Temperament Twist makes sense.
Yeah, I'm with you. We have Chione lost to a very solid horse.
Yep.
Last time out. Yeah, 12. Yeah, I'm with you. This seems like a wise guy horse. I can't see her being 12 to 1.
No,
it's chewing. I don't think it's chewing. No. 9, 7, 5, 3. So the 9, who is the Precipitate, or the Chad Brown. That horse is going to take money. I tried to show bet with Queen Bourbon. I don't. Who's Queen? I don't know who. Oh, the 1, Queen Bourbon. I'm not using a Tampa horse coming to Keeneland. That's just my.
No, I don't mind it. I mean, I don't really play shows, but if you're going to, you definitely want to try to take a stab with prices. So I don't hate that bet. That bet's not for me, but I don't hate it. It makes sense as far as it could pay something.
Yeah, it could pay.
Yeah.
If you for third, the problem would be if you get like a 9 Precipitate and a 3 Temperament Twist. Then I don't know how much it pays. Will the 1 be in the mix? The 1 is Queen Bourbon.
Yeah,
I think if Queen Bourbon is going to win, it has to be on the lead. Has to be. So I'm with you there. Maybe she gets better in her second start. I just don't think she's good enough. But Aaron probably agrees. Mm-hmm. To win, she probably has to take this group gate to wire. Why not the 6, Suki? At some point, we have to leave horses off that we don't like. And I'm using what I think is a long shot on paper, the 8. These races are interesting. It's like this race blows up and there's prices everywhere, or we overlook it and a horse like Precipitate wins. And I'm not going to go that deep. I was already criticized for going deep in a race. I just don't. I've never been a Dallas Stewart fan personally. Not of him. Sorry, not of his runners, I should say. So I'm not going to use Suki. Did you consider this horse at all?
got beat by Pauline's Pearl last time out, and that's probably where kind of the angle is, and I don't hate it. Yeah, second time going long. I mean, if you want a price, I wouldn't talk you off that horse. If me and I don't know what your name is, Mr. Guitar 0610, if we're sitting there and we're playing a pick four, and you kind of give me a little bit of here's what we should do, here's what I'm thinking. I wouldn't try to. Here's who I want to throw in. I wouldn't say no. We're not playing that 6. That's crazy. I would say okay, let's do it. As long as we went short in other races.
CH is a K sound. Chione. Oh, Chione. So I guess it goes back to the Italian thing. Chione. I don't know. We're still trying to figure it out. We'll hear it on the race call. What about the 4? Be Like Water. Beaten favorite last time and 2 seconds. The whole Tampa thing again. This horse has a shot. I like this horse much more than some others. But again, we can't. I can't use every horse. We're now making a case for all. I do think it's a race where you can go deep. Jared says playing it when pools will slim, putting it out there for the commentary. So I put it out there, and hopefully the will pays in the pools are gauged for the better. This is an interesting comment. Chione, the daughter of Boreas, pregnant in secret with Eumolpus by Poseidon, was frightened of her father's reaction, so she threw the baby into the ocean after giving.
What? What?
Well, I have no idea. What? Okay, I'm very confused. All right. I'm like speechless. I don't think I've been speechless in quite some time. Always something special about Keeneland. Yes. Having Keeneland opening day is here. You know what? The only thing I'm upset about, Yankees lost yesterday. 0 for 9 see, I'm the Yankee fan that watches every game, just like you watch every Blues game, or as many as you can, I should say. I can't watch every game, but as many, like if I'm home and nothing's and the Yankees run, I'm watching it. 3-2. Gary Cole on the mound. You got to get that done. Any thoughts about going today for the weekend? Anything you want to touch on? Anything like that? It's just a great day. Lexington, Kentucky. We are back. First time since November.
Yeah, man. Pumped. Very, very pumped. Last year, COVID totally ruined this meet. They did like a little 5-day meet. I think it was like July or June they did that. Yeah. So, yeah, opening day at Keeneland. It's great. We have so much good stuff today, tomorrow, even Sunday. I'm kind of starting that. It looks pretty well. No, not Sunday actually because of Easter. But Santa Anita put together a pretty good card. So anyway, it's this is my favorite time of year. This Saturday coming up is one of my favorite Saturdays of the year. And I say that about a lot of Saturdays, but I mean it about this one. It's really good. So it's going to be fun, man. I love watching races from Keeneland.
Yes. I said it the other day. It's weird because we usually have all these preps, and which we do, but then we also have Keeneland as well. So it's like all mixed in one. This is I would argue this opening weekend of Keeneland is the best weekend when it's combined with all of these preps that we have as well. We have action from Oaklawn, Aqueduct, Santa Anita, and Keeneland. It's great. The weather, 38 degrees right now in Lexington, Kentucky. It's chilly. I could tell you here, it's freezing in New York. I think it's like low 30s, and it feels like in the 20s. It's absolutely freezing today. Hopefully it warms up. Yes, the extra innings rule didn't help. That stupid man on second base, right? I think that's what we're referring to. Everyone, we have a big day. Please check out racingdudes.com for all the content needed. We have you covered for everything. Keeneland, for me, Keeneland, Oaklawn, and Santa Anita. It's unfortunate can't play Gulfstream. The races just aren't quite as good without the championship meet. Aaron put together a fantastic guide for tomorrow, covering the big time races, right? And it's so nice that we're able to do that, have put a guide together. Again, still hoping the consensus picks come out, but that's okay. That's okay. Again, I'll just sit on my pedestal. Guys, again, check racingdudes.com for all your content. We will be back on Wednesday, and special guest is locked in for next Thursday. So I told this person to cover Keeneland. So this person will be doing that. I also told this person anything on the card you want to cover. So if that person comes back and says they like the early sequence better, we'll be doing that. But we'll let you guys know on Wednesday what we'll be doing. And I think you're going to love this guest. This person has a wealth of knowledge and certainly knows more than I do about it. I won't speak for Aaron, but definitely knows more than me. Without further ado, we will see you guys on Wednesday covering Keeneland. They are racing on Wednesday. So good luck to everyone. Stay safe, stay healthy, and we will see you guys again next Wednesday, bright and early at 11 a.m. again from Lexington, Kentucky. Take care, everyone.